हो रहा मैं लापता, यूं न लो तुम बार बार मेरी ऐसी इम्तिहान। ओ वन के रक्षक कर मेरी हिफाजत, मैं भी हूँ आखिर इस वन की अमानत। ओ वन के रक्षक कर मेरी हिफाजत, मैं भी हूँ आखिर इस वन की अमानत। धुंधली सी ये गूंज है मेरी मन्नत, ओ वन के रक्षक।
With that very rooted invocation song, I would like to invite the dignitaries on the dais. Her Highness Pramoda Devi Vadiyar. Ma'am, please come. Sir, our own MLA, our friend. Secretary Ayush, Vaidya Rajesh Kotecha ji. Our dignitaries have come to our own constituency, sir. So I request you to greet them. Aur Pipali, with Pipali plant, we would like to greet them to this event. Yes. So, yeah, Murthy, sir. Yes. Sorry, Padmashid Darshan Shankar, Vice Chancellor, TDU. Professor Murthy, he is the National Coordinator for Dhara from IKS, and our own Padmashid Darshan Shankar ji. Have a seat. I profusely thank our MLA, Shri Vishwanath, to grace this occasion. He is in hurry to join the assembly last day today, but he still made time to come here and made it a point to come here. I am very thankful to him. And Ange Barta iri sir. Haudu sir. So now we will begin our main part of our inauguration program with welcome remarks by Padmashid Darshan Shankar. He is Vice Chancellor TDU and most of you know him, so I will hand over the stage to him.
Is the volume coming okay?
Yeah, I
Our heartfelt welcomes on behalf of all of you to Her Highness Pramoda Devi. She is a patron of the university for several years. She is our chief patron. The Secretary Ayush, Shri Rajesh Kotecha, welcome on behalf of all of you. He is an extremely busy, and I've seen how hectic program he has. This morning I think he must have woken up at 5:30 in the morning, left his place at 7 in the morning, I think rushed to Himalaya Drug Company and then finished that work there and then rushed back here. So you can see how hectic, I mean this is a part of his probably normal schedule. I welcome my friend Professor Murthy He is actually the person behind this entire Dhara program from the Indian Knowledge Systems division of the Ministry of Education, Professor Murthy. It's been a pleasure working with him for now almost a year. I welcome and acknowledge the presence of stalwarts who are present here, great clinicians from different parts of the country, teachers and faculty from Ayush institutions as well as from science institutions, leaders who are leading a very important hospital services, of course the IKS team that has come down from Delhi, representatives of the Ministry of Culture. I also welcome folk healers in whose honor our invocation song was crafted, students, industry representatives and laypersons. I also welcome the media. Ayurveda Dhara is indeed a timely and I consider it to be a historic campaign. This is one event in that campaign. India needs to revitalize its health knowledge because of its contemporary relevance. The vision talks today and tomorrow will substantiate this contemporary relevance. My own dream, for which my colleagues have been working with passion for the last 28 years. So my own dream is that in the next 10 to 15 years, students seeking to learn medicine and health sciences globally should seek to study health sciences not only going to places like Harvard and Cambridge, but indeed coming to Indian universities. The reason I am dreaming in this manner is that today we are in an emerging era of what we call complexity sciences. We do realize that knowledge has to become multicultural because no single intellectual or cultural tradition, these days the mainstream is the European intellectual cultural tradition, but really no single intellectual cultural tradition can do justice to the complexity that we see in nature. And therefore we need to combine different cultural perspectives on knowledge. India can be one of the leaders in this process of complexity science, given our rich knowledge heritage across domains, ranging from mathematics to logic to medicine to the arts. I visualize the future of health sciences globally will of course include Ayurveda because of its deep systemic principles, concepts, methods, therapies and so on and so forth. But the Ayurveda that we should visualize in 2047 must focus on collaborative interfaces with advanced biology, which includes physics, chemistry, engineering and bioinformatics, public health, information technology and the social sciences. It must include collaborative interfaces. No dilution of the principles of Ayurveda, not at all. But it should include collaborative interfaces across these various disciplines and also must begin to focus on the emerging paradigm of what we are now calling One Health, in which Ayurveda has a unique contribution to make, One Health, because this is one knowledge system which combines applications for human beings, what we normally refer to as Ayurveda, for livestock, what we refer to as Pashu Ayurveda, as well as for agriculture, Vriksha Ayurveda, and of course for the environment. I'll end this words of welcome by saying that Ayurveda 2047 must empower both health professionals all over the world, not only in India, and also millions of laypersons. I once again thank all of you and the dignitaries present on the dais for gracing this occasion. Thank you.
Thank you, DS. And now we would request Her Highness Pramoda Devi ji to give us blessings. She always keeps showering her blessings on us, but we want more and more. So for this Dhara event, we want her special blessings. So I invite Her Highness to deliver.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Morning, Professor and Vice Chancellor Darshan Shankar, Secretary Ministry Ayush, Professor Murthy, and all the invitees, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to be here this morning to participate in this Ayurveda Dhara event organized at the TDU, TransDisciplinary University, Bangalore. I congratulate the Ministry Ayush, the Ministries of Culture and Education for sponsoring this event. It's always a pleasure. I keep repeating the same thing to Professor Darshan Shankar. It's always a pleasure to visit this university and the clinic across the road. And I must have come here several times, and I think at least I make a visit once a year. I have been associated with TDU for last 7 years, and I'm a well-wisher and fully support the TDU initiative on integrating Ayurveda and biology. The focus of integrative health management would be to restore and maintain wellness throughout an individual's lifespan. The approach of integrating traditional medicines with modern biomedicine is rapidly becoming popular in the healthcare sector as well as in life science research. I am of the opinion that Ayurveda and Indian system of medicine can play a pivotal role in this transdisciplinary knowledge synthesis. I am very happy to be part of this Ayurveda Dhara 2022, and I extend my best wishes and successful conduct of this event, which is going to be next 2 days. And my best wishes to TDU and their future endeavors. Thank you.
So it's very nice to see this gathering, and getting blessings from Her Highness is really very special for us. So I just want to mention, ma'am, that there are several people who are on campus at different locations, and as well as there are several others who are watching this event online, and there are several others also participating in the event online, and then there are several others who are watching the YouTube streaming which is happening. So there are many thousands of people watching this event right now, and having so many people post-COVID is a very happy moment for all of us, and equally important that we have learned, all of us have learned how to be online and how to grasp everything being at a distance. So now moving to the next part, I request Professor Murthy to tell us more about what is this Dhara and why, how it was conceptualized and how we are taking it forward. He is from his national coordinator IKS, Indian Knowledge Systems, the organization which is part of Ministry of Education.
मातृभ्यो नमः पितृभ्यो नमः गुरुभ्यो नमः सभायै नमः सभापतिभ्यश्च नमो नमः Her Highness Pramoda ji, Vaidya Rajesh Kota ji, and then Professor Darshan Shankar ji, our friend, mentor and guide for IKS division, and all the Vidvat Janaha here. Namaskara, Sadar Namaskara, Sadar Pranamaha. So very warm welcome to this third event in the Dhara series of conferences that we are organizing in collaboration with the Ministry of Culture. Jointly we both do this, Ministry of Education and Ministry of Culture. How did we conceptualize this and what is the idea behind this? For that I would like to go back a little bit and talk about what is this Bharatiya Jnana Parampara Vibhaga, what is our mission to do, what is it that we want to do in that. In that we are essentially trying to promote all aspects of Indian knowledge systems, Bharatiya Jnana Parampara, starting all aspects, starting all the way from and contributing all the way from the school education to the higher education, research, and basically, if I have to say it in one sentence, right now because of all the historical reasons and things like that, Indian knowledge systems, which was a flourishing parampara which made the Bharat, India, one of the big cultural superpowers of and economics and intellectual superpowers of last so many millennia, was kind of in a dormant state. And essentially it is now restricted to kind of the libraries. And what we are doing at the IKS division is to bring out the Indian knowledge systems from the libraries to laboratories, so that we can have more charakas, more shushrutas, more vagbhatas, and more tyagarajas, and more Aryabhattas come from our Bharat. And because this is a Jnana Parampara, we need to nurture that traditions and then take it forward. That is entirely the kind of the vision that we have for the Bharatiya Jnana Parampara Vibhaga. And we have one thing in, that we say in our Bharatiya Jnana Parampara exists in Bharatiya Bhashas. And the expression that it finds is through our Bharat's culture. And therefore, we have collaborated with Ministry of Culture to look into various facets of Bharatiya culture where Bharatiya Jnana Parampara is being expressed. So this Dhara series of conferences was conceptualized as some kind of a this continuity of this parampara that is taking place, and how can we visualize and look at 2047, which essentially is marking the 100th year of independence from the Britishers, and especially the next 25 years, which our Prime Minister also calls as the Amrit Kal. How do we basically use this time, Amrit Kal, to launch ourselves, our country, back to that civilizational position that it was in? And for that, we need to look into various aspects of our Bharatiya Jnana Parampara. So we started off with India's contribution to mathematics. That was the first Dhara conference. Second conference was focused on cultural aspects of Bharatiya Jnana Parampara and looking at all the intellectual traditions. This third one is focused on the Ayurveda Loka, essentially looking at where Ayurveda is and how do we take it to, what do we visualize it as in 2047. The next conference in Dhara series is going to be on India's martial arts traditions. Then after that we are looking into the basically the maritime traditions and foreign policy of India. And how did we conduct that and what it should be in next 25 years. After that we are looking into the music and dance traditions of India. After that we are looking into the agricultural traditions of India. After that Rasayana Shastra, and then metallurgical traditions of India. These are some of the things that we have planned as these Dhara events will occur every month. And this particular Dhara event is setting the context for something much, much larger. And the idea is Ayurveda is India's contribution to the world. And this is something that it is present and we need to take it to the world. And for that, how do we visualize it in 2047 is the whole concept here. But this is going to be only a starting, a kickoff event for what is going to be a month-long celebrations in collaboration with Ministry of Ayush, Ministry of Culture and Ministry of Education. And you can see how all aspects, the multidisciplinary aspects of Bharatiya Jnana Parampara is coming together. And we are so fortunate that we have TDU who is implementing this and working with us, and we are working together and then actually organizing this here in TDU, because TDU's concept, the way that they have concept, foundational philosophy is something that we really want to see. As Professor Darshan Shankar ji was just mentioning a minute ago, contemporariness, what is this relevance today, and then how can we take it forward is something that we are looking forward, and that was the vision with which the whole Dhara series of conferences were conceptualized. And again, you will see mixture of all kinds of stakeholders in these conferences, and especially importantly, we'll see a lot of Jan Bhagidari. We want to connect to the common people, and this is one of the main aims of all the Dhara events. And I hope you will have a good time here, and you will get to learn a lot, and you will come back and incorporate Ayurveda into your lives as you go forward, and also take it to the people and be involved in this Jnana Yajna of the Bharat for the next so many years of your life, for the rest of your lives. With those words, I would like to thank you all. Namaste.
Thank you, Murthy sir. It's a kind of rare occasion when three ministries together are doing a program, and which is hosted by TDU. So one of the organizers and the main sponsors of the event is Ministry of Culture. And Ministry of Culture is sponsor of Dhara series as a whole. And we have the Secretary, Ministry of Culture, Shri Govind Mohanji, who has been kind enough to send us a video clip which we would like to share with all of you. And so this was really great. He's been very, very supportive. He did not make us feel the distance between Delhi and Bangalore. The support was full time there. So we are very thankful to him, and Professor Shri Govind Mohanji.
Good morning. Dhara is an initiative of the Indian Knowledge Systems Division of the Ministry of Education at AICTE in collaboration with the Ministry of Culture to systematically highlight the significant contributions of Bharat. The objective of this scheme is to create awareness, promote knowledge, inspire research, and increase the active interest base regarding the different dimensions of various domains of Indian knowledge systems for concerned stakeholders, from academia to practitioners to their beneficiaries across all strata of society. In order to achieve this, the Indian Knowledge Systems Division and the Ministry of Culture jointly launched the Dhara series of events on 25th February 2022. Every Dhara event focuses on two key aspects. First, visioning what the particular area should look like in 2047 and how we can achieve that vision. And secondly, the emphasis on Jan Bhagidari, the involvement of people in any particular topic. Turning to the concept behind the Ayurveda Loka, this Dhara event is focused as part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav on Ayurveda and is being jointly organized by the Ministry of Culture, the IKS Division, the TransDisciplinary Health Sciences Institute of Bangalore in collaboration with the Ministry of Ayush, along with a dozen partnering organizations. The Dhara event on Ayurveda will encompass over 23 talks focusing from the thought leaders in Ayurveda, from academia, industry and policy makers. The talks will focus on presenting the historic and the scientific aspects of Ayurveda. They will also discuss how various paths to incentivize the mainstreaming of Ayurveda by promoting changes around regulation, IP protection, standards and certification in Ayurveda can seamlessly be brought about. In addition to this visioning exercise, there will be a partnership with over 800 traditional healers to provide free health checkups, home remedies, culinary experiences, plant identification workshops, ethno-veterinary practices, and nature walks for school children and student competitions. Regardless of who you are, There is a program designed specially for you in this Dhara event. This event also marks the beginning of a month-long celebration of Ayurveda and involves multiple events throughout the month, culminating in the World Ayurveda Day on 23rd October on the occasion of Dhanteras, the birthday of Dhanvantari. I wish this event all success, and I look forward to organizing further events on Dhara with the IKS division of the Ministry of Education. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Anuradhaji and Murthy sir, for arranging this, so we didn't miss it. Now, there are some more interesting things coming up, but I request the dignitaries, because we would like them to watch it from there. So, if you can be seated there, sir, Kotecha sir, it's your turn. So you be here, and rest all can be seated below on the sofa. Thank you. One of the very innovative sub-event of this big program of Dhara Ayurveda Vision 2047 was the competition. The competition is based on, it was for students from everywhere, all the streams, and it was, the concept was, once again, Jobin, can you put on the competition PPT? The concept was that they have to come up with a very good idea, which is Ayurveda inspired and deals with either human health or animal health or plant health. That means Ayurveda, Pashu Ayurveda and Vriksha Ayurveda. So this was the broad spectrum, and it was very nice to see that the students were so enthusiastic. It was something different for them, and they participated. We got 130 entries, which each team had multiple people. It was most of the teams were very multidisciplinary, and that's again a very big thing, very good thing to see that they are working together. Multiple disciplines are working together at the student level. So that was the unique feature. And the jury involved very of course acclaimed people from the field of industry, academia and physicians, and all of them had a very different perspective, but still the results were very collaborative kind of nature, and everything converged very well, and that was very nice to see. And we would like Kotecha ji to come at the podium and declare the winners of the competition. That's so, sir, you can see that all the prizes, it was a tough competition. Point by point, there was a difference in decimal points in the scores. So we could not restrain ourselves from giving the prizes to more than one team at all positions, first, second and third. And you can see that both the prize winners, first prize winners are from Pashu Ayurveda. And that's something very different and very innovative ideas. And I think Megha will be available, and she is the person from TDU who conducted this competition very ably. And if you are interested, please talk to her. Some of the prize winners are also there on campus. So we can discuss. They can be given opportunity to talk to all the special invitees, people from different fields, and then there were other ideas were also very good, and it was a very close competition. So thank you, sir. Thank you for that. And Now we will have keynote address from Sir Vaidya Kotecha ji, and then we'll proceed further. Sir, please. I would like to introduce, sir, that one of the very, very dynamic secretary which Ayush Ministry has got. He is, and DS has said enough, but I would like to say that I myself, such a junior person, has gone to Ayush, to his office, and I was never felt that he will not, or I am considered very, he considers everybody with lot of respect. He gave me time, he spoke with me, and be it a big conference, be it his office, he talks to everybody, encourages everybody, and that's very, very good for Ayush, I feel, and it has changed the atmosphere of Ayush for the country, and one of the main reasons for that, I would say that he being there, his dynamic presence at Ayush Ministry. So please, sir, please deliver your keynote address.
Respected Her Highness Rajmata ji, Pramoda Kumari ji, Sri Darshan ji, Professor Murthy ji, Professor Bhushan Patwardhan ji, all dignitaries, dear colleagues, the practitioners, healers came from all across the country in this Dhara event. My colleagues from Ministry of Culture, Ministry of Education, you can see that this event could be the showcasing of how whole of the government approach works. You know, our Honorable Prime Minister brought in this culture into the governance all across the country, that there is no silos now. All of these people, they work together and deliver. It's a good example, this Dhara event, that I am Secretary Ayush and participating into an event which is supported by Ministry of Culture and Ministry of Education, and then we all work together. And we are talking about Ayurveda, Indian knowledge system. This is a very good example. And as mentioned by my colleague, Sri Govind Mohan ji, that this is a kind of part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, one of the important event as a part of the celebration of not only Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, but also leading to a 1 month long series of events leading to the Ayurveda Day celebration on 23rd of October, that is Dhanteras or Dhanvantri Jayanti. What I am going to talk about this, very briefly, but also wanted to mention something very authentically with all responsible statements, that what is happening and what are the vision. Incidentally, today only, Culture Secretary, Education Secretary, they both are working on finalizing the 2047 vision of social group of ministries. So Ayush, Health, Sports, Culture, Education, those are having, is a social group of secretaries group, and we are finalizing this to present in front of the Council of Ministers. So this is the final day, and I was supposed to be there, but I'm participating here. My colleagues are there. Govind Mohanji and Education Secretary, they are the coordinators. They are finalizing at the same time. This time. So this is very good coincidence that I'm also talking about 2047 perspective. The global positioning, can I get this document so that I don't lose? So global positioning of Ayush or Ayurveda is very important by 2047. And it's not only one aspect, but every aspect. It could be medical value travel or heal in India, or providing professionals of traditional medicine across the world, or benchmarking of world-class industry, or public health spheres, and so on. Also, academia, like Darshanji mentioned, that people should come to India in Indian universities to learn about the Indian knowledge system, Ayurveda and others. Then also there is another goal for the global positioning is to ensure that these Ayush based expertise, treatments, therapeutics and practices of not only preventive but also curative, rehabilitative and holistic health reach to one and all. It is interesting that when we participate into the events or talk to the people who is outside of the Ayush domain, usually what we listen is that we are the people of wellness. So we are restricted to wellness thing. So we are expected that Ayush sector should provide wellness to the people, and there is no sensitization that Ayush can contribute a lot to the curative aspect at even tertiary care level. So that part is, to be disseminated and to be strengthened. Then for that we need to look at this promotion of credible, affordable, accessible and holistic form of healthcare system, and without inclusion of Ayush it is not possible. Also, when we look at this, all these practices, like in our invocation song also, Darshanji also, I was sitting beside him, he was mentioning, and I was quite impressed with this song, that all this evolution, it came from, a very, very small contribution from traditional healers, and then it evolved over the centuries and then became a codified science. And now it is time to look at the mechanistic aspects, how it works, and then talking in the terms of the people of science who understands it, and talking in the terms of their understanding, so that we can disseminate, we can reach to the decision makers and large scale community who is engaged into public health delivery system. And lastly, I also want to mention that it's not only R&D, world-class R&D inclusion, but also inclusion of technology into Ayush. So without technology driven thing, I was impressed with these competitions and the area of competitions. That is the future, that without inclusion of technology, we cannot achieve the scaled up sector. So scaling up is also required to have inclusion of technology. When we talk about technology, it is interesting that for a practitioner, when a patient comes to the practitioner, the general mindset or general perception is that these practitioners do not require technology because they are the Nadi people, they will take Nadi, they are not supposed to use any technology. If they use technology, they are termed as they are doing mixopathy. Actually, we need to change this narrative. Science is everybody's domain, and advancement of science should be used for every different science on the earth. So using of technology is also one of the important aspect for inclusive growth of Ayush systems and inclusion of Ayush in large scale public health delivery system and all other sectors. So I will talk about these sectors independently, and I am sure I will finish my talk in time.
Yes, you are very much in time.
So what I did, that I tried to make present status and what we can achieve in by 2047. These are the larger goals, but we have a lot of good metrics. So it's not just vision, this is not just illuminating and daydreaming, but it's actually possible. There are some good benchmark, and then we can reach there. Like by now we were able to identify the gaps. What is the gaps of having inclusion of Ayush systems into public health delivery system. So now we are having this very good model of National Ayush Mission, National Health Mission working together, and then working together we have helped us to learn a lot. And how to get this into mainstream public health delivery system is also, there are paths developed, like since so many years, Darshan ji and TDU team and lot of NGOs and public civil society is arguing about inclusion of fourth layer of healthcare delivery system. And now it is being seriously discussed, Darshan ji, and probably it will get included. So those kind of developments are going on. Then reducing the burden on existing medical care system by appropriate integration of evidence-based traditional medicine. When we talk about evidence-based medicine, it is interesting that whatever is evidences are there are so good, there are many, but generally these mainstream scientists, mainstream practitioners, they don't care, they are not willing to look at that. This is more true than generating evidence. Evidences are there is a need of more, but it do not mean that we don't have evidence. So this is like a gap area. We have to visualize that, how to disseminate these evidences to them and how to talk to them, how to create a bridge. And also last is Ayush as a sports medicine. Recently with the help of Department of Sports, we were able to declared this Yogasana as a sport. It is very new. There was a lot of debate among the yoga community whether yoga can be considered as a sport, but we had a humble argument that we are not talking about the entire yoga. Ashtanga yoga is very big. Yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, samadhi is very big. But out of that, we are just talking about asana. So can yogasana can become a sport, a competitive sport, and it was agreed upon. Now, Government of India has formally notified as a category of sports. So with all the benefits of having category of sports for the reservation into the education institutions or even getting government job, etc. But more importantly, what we are visualizing is that maybe we can have certain like 2016, 20, 24 gold medals into the Olympics, and it is being seriously worked upon now. In Indian Games it is coming, in few years it will come in Asian Games, and then it will come in Commonwealth Games, and ultimately by 2034, 2038 it will get included into the Olympics. So visualize that who is better in Yogasana? No other than Indians. Sometimes it happens that in Kabaddi Iran won the gold medal once upon a time. But still, there is a big scope of having a big chunk of medals in Olympics once it is included. Then also expand infra to plug gaps in secondary and tertiary care hospitals access. Now we have good benchmark models of tertiary care and secondary care. Like in almost all district hospitals there is an Ayush facility. In private sector there are wonderful tertiary care hospitals, best hospitals. I know one of the leader is here, Rajiv ji. He is having a talk about that. So is also one of the thing. And 2 more minutes. Then, so this is about the healthcare. Then industry. In industry, did you know? I will need 2 more minutes, extra 2 more minutes. So, did you know that since 2014, the industry, manufacturing industry, grew by 6 times. So in 7 years, from $3 billion, it became $18 billion industry in 6 years. And now we are visualizing that it will grow multiple times, like 50 times by 2047. And through this calculation, we are also visualizing that it will contribute 5% of GDP of our country in 2047. So this is another benchmark that we are visualizing. Of course, favorable environment is there as of now, but then we are looking at the scale of world-class scale, that is for 2047. Ayush, in the ongoing parallel discussions, so Honorable Prime Minister just recently during SCO meet, he mentioned about having under India's leadership in SCO, he mentioned that we are willing to create a forum for traditional medicine SCO. Similarly, G20, we are also proposing a forum of traditional medicine G20. In BIMSTEC, it is already there. In ASEAN, it is already there. In EU also there is a separate committee, expert committee, joint working group of Ayurveda and EU. So lot of things are happening. But what we want to do is that through these platforms and through one-to-one dialogue, through multilateral dialogue, we want to make sure that this reach to the world, access of these traditional Indian sciences to the world. And also we should not miss about the service industry, medical value travel. And as of now, we have 30% contribution out of 6 billion industry. We are number 12 in the world. We want to become number 1 in the world in 2047 with at least 70% contribution from our sector and having size of at least $50 billion. And then also, if Ayush industry will not provide the zero waste sustainable solution, then what other industry will provide? So this is also one of the goal. Education, we have reforms, we have upskilling of professionals in multidisciplinary, Darshan ji mentioned about that. We have technological infrastructure upgradation. What we are visualizing is that it should be having world-class institutions across the globe, at least one Ayush institution, top 10 institutions of the world, and at least 33 million professionals and 100 additional center of excellences. Now, as of now, we have COEs in IITs and IIMs and AIMS, but there are so many more possibilities. Then research. We talked about research, but then our goal is there are so many things have already happened, like WHO Global Center for Traditional Medicine recently established in India. But then we want to visualize that at least we should at least achieve 1 or 2 Nobel Prizes in traditional medicine from India. At least 20 to 30 Ayush-based botanicals. As of now, in 75 years, we were not able to develop even one drug to the world. We are talking about 20 to 30. And predictive, preventive and personalized medicine model, that is also one of the goal. Tech-enabled Ayush. I would like to mention that recently, just 2 days before, we have proposed this, we have proposed this AI-driven Ayush sector in ITU focus group. I was in Helsinki the day before yesterday and we have proposed this. There are a lot of things are happening, but then AI-driven large-scale manufacturing plants and all this India Lead 27 is we are visualizing for tech-enabled, and at the end, this is roadmap. For this roadmap, transforming healthcare delivery system, robust accreditation framework, innovation leadership. That is what we are visualizing, and our Prime Minister says, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan, and Jai Anusandhan. So we are committed to achieve that from Ayush sector, and with the whole of the government approach, as mentioned, with the goal of One Health. And this One Health have different aspects of having collaborations with different sectors like Ayurveda biology program or different sectors, particularly basic science people. That is what we are visualizing. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. A very, very insightful talk, sir. 2 minutes. I request Her Highness Pramoda Devi ji to give us token of. Okay. We have very packed program after the tea break. So tea break, we will have to start again at 11:10. Everybody has to be seated here again, and we will have to start our Vision Talk program. And thanks everybody for attending the inauguration program and being here. Please come back for Vision Talks. I can guarantee there are very interesting talks coming ahead. So I look forward to have you again here, back in the room at 11:10. Yeah? Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.